Good morning everybody, it's Brett here, Lionheart84. It's the last Sunday in May, it's the 31st, and I've set myself an unexpected task here today. If you watched one of my earlier videos, you'll remember that I laid all my fruit trees out in nice neat rows, or reasonably neat rows, with a view to sort of hopefully leaving them here all summer. Well, I'm going to have to rethink my ideas at the moment because as compared to last year when nothing really grew that much, some of these trees have grown unbelievably for the time of the year. I mean, I've got sort of persimmons and mulberries that are put on over a foot in growth in 1 month from April to May, and they're now heavily overcrowding each other, which you can probably see at the back there. So I'm going to have a rethink about my plant spacing so that they aren't held back at all. So what I'm planning, and some of them are, you know, the branches are growing into the fence, which is no use at all. So what I think I'm going to have to do is have a little bit of reorganisation of space. I've got a spare area here at the bottom of the garden where I've got that fence panel lying down, which is eventually going to go over in that space there. So I think if I move the fence panel and level the ground out a bit, I've got some more wood chips here I can put on the ground. I think what I'm going to have to try and do is space those plants away from the fence and move all the pots around so they've got a good six inches between them, will give them more space. And because I'm not going to have enough room for all of the plants here, I'll probably reorganise so I can put 3 or 4 of them over here, as they'll get sun most of the day from about 11 o'clock in the morning, so they'll be in a nice sunny position. It'll make it a little bit easier to maintain the plants as well if they've got that sort of much space between them. So I just thought I'd do an early morning video before I get on with moving stuff and reorganising, and it'll give me a chance to do any weeding and clear any ground weeds as well. Anyway, that was the intro to the video, and obviously I'll complete the video later on when hopefully everything's a bit better organised and nice and easy to look at, and it'll make that little corner up there look slightly more attractive with more plants standing on it anyway. So I'll catch up with you in the second part of the video. Brett out for now. So we're back again for part 2. I've finished reorganising, rearranging and dealing with all the work that needed doing on these trees today. It doesn't look as neat and tidy as it did before with those sort of near perfect rows, but to be honest, a lot of the trees were just far too close together and too close to the fence, and the branches were bending over and it just wasn't getting the light and sun into them. So now I've pulled them all off the fence several inches excuse me, and I've also spread them out a fair bit now so that none of them have got cramped leaves, so it's hopefully going to make it easy to water them and maintain them. But more importantly, what I've done differently is I've now had a bit of a clear up at the end of the garden and moved that fence panel, and I've moved the mulberries and some figs, 1 persimmon, 1 Asian pear and my pomegranate to the end of the garden, so they're going to get sun probably for 2/3 of the day. The only thing I've got to make sure is that I keep them really well watered, which I'm about to do. But I think it looks really quite nice with those up against the fence, and it gives these a lot more space. So hopefully it should really encourage them to grow strongly in the next few weeks. Anyway, that was my task for Sunday, which is now completed. I put a bit more bark down to make the end of the garden look a bit tidier. Thank you very much for watching the video. Welcome to like it. By all means, share it if you think anyone's interested. As usual, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'd really appreciate it. And if you click on that bell, you will be notified about videos when I post them, so that as I give updates on these and other plants during the summer, you shouldn't miss them. Thanks for watching everybody. Brett out for now.